Let me ask you something that you can answer 100 different ways. I'm sure there's one answer, but you can describe it 100 different ways. What drives you? I mean, you've accomplished so much in your life. You're impacting other people, but you still get up. You've given me a copy of your book. I've given you a copy of mine, and I set out 10 things that I think are really important in my book. And number one of them is be who you are on purpose. Be who you are on purpose. Live with intent. And you do that every day. You know, you and I are not spring chickens. We got a little mileage on us. What drives you now at this stage of your life? What makes you get up every day and live with purpose?
Well, I am so used to doing nothing but that it is like some people say, well, what's your hobby or what's your bucket list? I love my businesses and I love what I do. It is, to me, it is just fun. It is fulfilling. I only look forward. I rarely look back. One of the things I read, and I read this sign I was just there in Minneapolis, where it was a center that treated guys joined it, the veterans for PTSD and other things like that. And the sign said, "Don't look back. You're not going that way." I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. That is a good way to put it. Everybody has different forms of currency. I mean, some people work for money. That's monetary currency. Some people work for attention, social currency. Other people work for just the satisfaction of achievement. What do you think is your biggest currency?
Well, my biggest currency is to make a difference. I like, for example, with my golf club company, I like to make the finest clubs in the world.
Well, you do that.
And I believe I do it. At Scottsdale National, my goal was to build a place that was unlike any other.
You've done that.
And I bought that golf course for $100,000 plus another 500,000. So you could say $600,000. And I've since put $340 million into it. And, I'll tell you what, DrPhil, you can do a lot with $340 million.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But you enjoy being there, right?
I love being there.
You still enjoy being there?
Oh, that's my absolute happy place. My favorite time is just being out with just me and my wife. I taught her how to play golf, and we gamble a little bit with each other, and she cleans my clock, and I love that.
Yeah, you met Robin, and her dad was a driving range pro in Duncan, Oklahoma, and she doesn't play golf anymore. I got her out about 10 years ago on the men's tees at the TPC here in Las Colinas, and she was 1 over for 5 holes.
Wow.
I was like, give me those clubs. Get back in the house. But she grew up picking up range balls. They didn't have a tractor, so she was out there with a bucket picking up range balls.
Wow.
For her dad. Like you, her dad was an alcoholic and a gambler, and he gambled at golf. My dad was an alcoholic and a really chaotic alcoholic. So we grew up, poor and chaotic, a lot like you described as well.
Now, you know how it is.
Yeah, I do know how it is. You got to find passion and currency. I feel it with you and everything that you talk about and everything that you do. And that's why I think you inspire other people so much. I think they feel it in you. And I'm serious when I say if people read this book, Fire in the Hole, whether they have PTSD or whether they don't, I think they'll find things in this book that will change the way they get up and go about being who they are every day. I think there were messages in there for people, young and old, professional, non-tradespeople, whatever. I think impacts people in the way they go about being who they are. And we need that in this country.
Well, my goal was to do that and to make it a good read. And you're right, we do need it.
Who do you think is going to be the next president?
DrPhil, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
And the one thing I can tell you is both Democrats and Republicans and independents all buy golf clubs. So when it comes to politics, it's between me and the voting booth when I close the curtain.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I stay as apolitical as I possibly can. I'm not sure I trust any of them. But that's why I talk about cultural issues, not political issues. I don't want same party controlling president, House, and Senate. If they all get on the same team, we could get a runaway train here. I like gridlock. I think that keeps us safe.
Well, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Bob, thank you for talking to me about all this.
Well, it's been my absolute pleasure to be here and to spend some time with you. And, I can't think of anything I would have rather have done today.
Well, you're very kind. I certainly can't think of anybody I'd have rather spent time talking to. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.